Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot.
Deke me lala, kai me hi. Tangi tau for me. Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva.
It's hot.
Mirchi FM, bon julum.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
In this bulletin, Prime Minister and Attorney General reveal salaries as Fiji First Party makes declarations. Fiji and New Zealand to talk on seasonal workers scheme next week. And Namaka market vendors call for drop in store fees. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The declaration of assets and liabilities of the leader of the Fiji First Party, Voyage and party office holders has been made public. The declaration, published in today's Fiji Sun newspaper, shows that Bainimarama has a total annual income of $278,750. Of that amount, $230,000 is what he gets as annual salary for being Prime Minister. $20,000 for entertainment allowance and other allowances at $28,750. Chanel Sivan has the details.
It also reveals that Bainimarama has 3 bank accounts in BSP. He has $51,207 in one account, $101,968 in his check account, and $104,815 in a term deposit account. He also has $26,042 in a Matai Valu savings account and $14,443 with the unit trust. He has also declared a property in Nandi valued at $25,000. Meanwhile, Party General Secretary Ayah Syed Kayum gets an annual salary of $185,000 as the Attorney General. He has a property worth $500,000 at Vunakere Road, Namandi Heights, and another one valued at $80,000 in Wailoaloa, Nandi. Syed Kayum has an account with BSP in which he has $235.41 and 2 accounts with ANZ in which he has $16,705.17. His total liabilities are $470,000.05, which is a loan for his property at Vunakere Road in Suva. His total net assets stand at $126,935. Party President Dr. Chico Luveni gets $135,000 as annual salary for being Minister for Women. Party Vice President Ratu Williame Katunivere gets $15,600 for being Managing Director of Madhuwata Tikina Holdings Limited. Treasurer Vimlesh Kumar, who is the General Manager Finance and Admin for Tropic Wood Industries Limited, earns $148,000 a year. The declarations are being made as required under the Political Parties Decree 2013. A notice by the Supervisor of Elections says the Register of Political Parties will verify the information published by Fiji First in due course for compliance. He also says that members of the public who believes the information published is incorrect can contact the Register of Political Parties. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The proposed One Fiji party will register with the Fijian Elections Office on Monday. Proposed party volunteer and spokesperson Lyson Thingitaki said they will file their registration documents and petition of support from the party's initial members. The proposed party has indicated it will present its documents at 3 p.m. on Monday. Minister for Labour Chone Usamate will be travelling to New Zealand on Monday for talks to pave the way for Fijians to be employed as seasonal workers there. Mika Longa reports New Zealand has expressed willingness to re-offer the initiative after a lapse of 27 years.
This agency sent somebody. A week-long visit to New Zealand by Labour Minister Chone Usamate is historical and a milestone achievement between the two countries, with the Fijian government preparing for general election.
It was established way back in 1970s, 1980s between the Fijian government and the New Zealand government, and with seasonal workers, especially from rural areas, unemployed, to go and work in farms. They work there to clear the areas for cultivation. They call it tassel grubbing. Sometimes they go there for fruit picking or any areas of agriculture in nature.
I'm happy with the seasonal work scheme because this will help the unemployed.
I'm also happy with the initiative for seasonal work to resume in New Zealand.
Invited by the New Zealand government, Usamate will be holding discussions with his counterpart and other senior government officials about the scheme.
This scheme is a two-way process. So each country has to do their due diligence, and the minister is doing that on behalf of the country. And I cannot comment any further. So we will await the minister's return, and with the hope that positive outcomes will come out on this meeting.
If you are intending to be a seasonal worker in New Zealand, you have to register yourself with the National Employment Centre to become part of the National Employment Service.
The Foreign Employment Service will be certified because that's required by law. So when you export people through the Foreign Employment Service, they'll see on the letterhead is ISO certified. They understand that, what it means. So you have some faith in how people are processed.
The Permanent Secretary for Labour is reminding Fijians intending to work as a seasonal worker in New Zealand to keep the good name of Fiji once there. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Vendors at the Namaka market are calling on the Nadi Town Council to decrease the high stall fees. The vendors say they are paying much more than those vendors at the Nadi market. Akosita Tale has more.
Permanent vendors are charged $2.30 a day, while casual vendors have to pay $2.55 a day, in comparison to Nandi Market's 95 cents per stall for permanent vendors and $1.05 for casual vendors. The Nandi Town Council says the Nandi Market is sitting on the council's property, while Namaka Market is built on a land leased from the Civil Aviation Authority of Fiji. The fees was introduced in 2006 to allow the council to pay the lease.
We cannot run market under loss, and the same vendors before were selling from Namaka Lane, and there they were on the footpath, from the footpath. There they were paying $5 to $10 to the shopkeepers. It was approved by the ministry and they moved in. So they know about the fees from the day one. Now after 10 years they are complaining. I don't know why.
We tried to negotiate long time ago with the town council, even right today. Nothing comes up.
While the Nandi Market operates for only 5.5 days, Namaka is open throughout the week and on public holidays, but vendors still face problems.
Market is not busy every time. We can't pay properly stall fees. There's too much stall fees here.
We all understand most vendors here are poor people. This is the last resort for them. And they come here and then finding that they are being forced to pay high fees or high prices, and I don't think it's good at all.
Sometimes we don't have much sale, and the vendors, lot of vendors have come and gone within 1 or 2, 3 weeks because they cannot afford to pay that and they don't get much income from it, something in the pocket.
The town council has made it clear it has no intentions of reducing the fees anytime soon.
There's no plan for us to decrease because we don't want to run the market under loss. Because we have to break even. We are not a profit-making organization, but we have to make it even. And if we go run the market under loss, where we will end up. See?
Vendors also raised issues regarding security of their produce and have been reminded that under the market bylaws, produce kept at the market will be at their own risk. Akosita Tale, FBC News.
The Fiji Backpackers Association says having a poultry farm near Backpacker Resort is bad for our tourism image. This follows complaints made by Rendezvous Fiji about foul smell coming from Thor Fiji's chicken broiler sheds, which is affecting their tourism business. Christopher Chand reports.
The Backpackers Association hopes the environmental concerns raised about the stench is being looked into.
Before they started building it, it was already an issue. So now that they've got it, the smell is quite an uncomfortable situation there, so it's not good for the tourists.
Rendezvous Fiji is also a member of the Fiji Hotel and Tourism Association, and Chairman Dixon Sito says dealings with their members are a confidential matter. However, the backpackers body says if the problem is not solved, it would have an adverse impact on others.
The smell is going to definitely be a factor in that area. Not only the tourists, not only the guests there, but also the people that live in the area.
Toa Fiji issued a statement this afternoon claiming that the allegations made about the disgusting odor is being exaggerated. However, FBC News visited the area twice this week and can confirm that the issue is a problem, despite claims being made by Toa Fiji that it's not. Acting Director Environment Eleni Tokandondua says they are verifying the claims being made against Toa Fiji and will be issuing a statement once they are in a position to comment. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
Coming up after the break, Cabinet approves increase in monthly social pension for senior citizens.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nen.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Deke me lala kai me hi hi. Dangi dangi taubo me.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama says there is now no excuse for children not to attend school as the government has provided free schooling for the first time. While opening a new classroom building at Nawai Somo Primary School in Naitasiri, Bainimarama said his government has taken the pressure off parents and he has asked them to encourage children to attend school and study hard. The renovation was funded by the government at a cost of $32,000. Bainimarama said his government has made sure that all rural and maritime schools get the same resources as those in urban areas. The Fijian voyaging flagship canoe Utonialo will soon sail to Sydney, Australia for the 2014 International Union for Conservation of Nature World Parks Congress. The voyage will convey messages respecting and protecting important natural places and is part of the Pacific Voyage One Pacific Voice campaign. Shireen Lata reports.
The Utonialo will sail from Fiji in mid-September, travelling through Vanuatu, New Caledonia and the east coast of Australia before sailing into Sydney Harbour for the opening of the Congress on the 12th of November.
And it incorporates not just biodiversity, which we spend a lot of time talking about here in IUCN, but it also incorporates the cultural, spiritual, religious and other social dimensions that are so important and fundamental, particularly here in the Pacific.
In the last 5 years, Utonialo has travelled over 27,000 nautical miles or 50,000 kilometers, which is more than once around the earth, bridging ancestral wisdom and renewable energy.
Fiji has already benefited directly from the work of the Utonialo over the past 5 years, as one of the lead canoes of the voyages that we have undertaken. Its impact on communities throughout Fiji and the world has seen the Utonialo contribute to Fiji's cultural and environmental tourism campaigns.
Jonathan Smith, who has been sailing the canoe since 2009, says the voyages have always been exciting and it's a visible way to portray the essential messages from the Pacific Islands.
The good thing about traditional sailing canoes, you only can sail in rough weather because you need the wind. So unlike the commercial ships, they like to sail in calm weather. I never did regret taking a time off to sail the Utonialo using traditional means with sails.
So far, the Utonialo has advocated for a healthy ocean and for the livelihoods of Pacific communities to national, regional and international governments and organizations.
2010 was our first voyage down to New Zealand. I think that was our first experience of putting together a crew from Fiji and sailing in deep sea across to New Zealand, which was quite an experience because we left right before a cyclone.
The IUCN World Parks Congress is a landmark global forum about protected areas, which is held once every 10 years. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
From January next year, the monthly social pension for senior citizens who are 70 years and over will increase from $30 to $50. Savara Tamboa has the story.
The social pension scheme was first introduced this year. After feedback from recipients, government decided to increase pensions.
There has been an increasing request for this increase in the pension by the pensioners themselves. stating that the cost of items from the shop when they reach the maritime islands and the most rural of areas increases, so that the $30 is not enough.
Recipients are thankful to government for increasing their pension since $30 is not enough for them.
I am really happy about the decision because $30 can only cater for about 2 to 3 days.
This government is very good for us. We receive $30 now and $50 next year. We can now put food on our table.
Meanwhile, the Fiji Council of Social Service is supporting the government's decision and believes senior citizens should be receiving pensions at the age of 60 and not 70.
We feel that the social pension age should be brought down to the age of 60, if possible, which the government can look into the next year's budget.
The social pension scheme has a budgetary allocation of $3.2 million for this year. Currently, there are more than 9,000 beneficiaries, and the number is expected to increase next year. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
The Fiji Film Festival has been officially launched and will begin 2 weeks from today. There are over 300 entries from 33 countries this year. FNU Uni Studio Director Ravi Malik says there are many movies that may never be featured in Fijian cinemas.
This year package is so wonderful. You can keep on seeing the films for 1 month because there are not 1, 2, 3, 4 films. There are a total of 200 plus films. Feature films, documentaries, animations.
The movies will be shown in all major FNU campuses from the 18th to the 24th of this month. Student filmmakers also have a chance to showcase their movies and the chance to win a 22-carat gold trophy. Tickets, free of cost, can be collected from the venues. That time again, we join Jamie now with sports.
Good evening. After the break, Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tambakaudoro speaks to FBC Sports about his record-breaking run in the Cook Islands, and USFO Verivo expresses his disappointment with the 3-year Fiji football ban. Details coming up.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
I love Mirchi FM, it's so hot!
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back. The Fiji Sports Commission is still awaiting confirmation of a volleyball coach. Chairman Peter Maisy says despite the delay, the Commission is doing the best it can to develop volleyball and its sports outreach program. Charlene Daudakadaka has more.
Halfway into the year and still no word on the arrival of the national volleyball coach. What is known is that the target mentor will be from Cuba, but the process has been delayed by unforeseen circumstances.
It's being brought in under an MOU that we have between Fiji and Cuba, and as such, we're just waiting for Cuba to finalise the details. There's been a bit of a delay because we understand that the ambassador who we're dealing with out of Wellington, had to go back to Cuba for 6 weeks, so she couldn't give us a response until she gets back to Wellington, which is due this week.
But this has not hampered the Commission's work to develop the skills of youth around the country.
Look, we've been having outreach programs every month lately. Last week we were up in Ra, and next week, starting on Monday, we're at Wunidawa in Naidaseri, where we have several takinas coming in, and I think over 120 youth for a whole week. So we'll be introducing them to all the new sports.
So it seems the volleyball fraternity will have to wait a little longer until the arrival of the national coach, who will be tasked with developing local players from the grassroots level to the national teams. Salendo Dakadak, FBC Sports.
Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tambakaudoro was not expecting a record-breaking performance at the Ocean Athletics Championships in Cook Islands last week. The Bow Bullet set another new record in the Blue Ribbon event, now aims to maintain his form as he prepares for the Commonwealth Games next month. Talenda Dakadaka reports.
Back from a successful conquest at the Oceania Championships, Banuve Tambakaudoro says running in a new record of 10.3 seconds was a startling but welcome surprise.
I thought that I wasn't doing enough in training, that like I said, I was having a pretty slow year, so this just indicates that I was doing just enough just to hit those times. So hopefully in the future that as we go back to training, we'll be able to just do everything right in the gym and on the track as well.
Tambakaudoro raised a few eyebrows when he also ran an impressive 46.6 seconds in the 4x400 meters relay.
Well, it's just a one-off kind of thing, I have no plans of running the 400 in the future, but just for the 4x4, if the Fiji team needs me to run, I'll be, honored to run that 4x4 team either next year at the SPG or even anytime soon. So, I'm ready for it.
Tambakaudoro is hoping he can maintain his form as the date draws nearer to the Glasgow Games. Talenda Dakadaka, FBC Sports.
Suspended Reo football utility Yosefo Verovo has broken his silence over his suspension by Fiji Football Association. The 18-year-old was banned from all levels of football for 3 years and fined $5,000 for breaking camp during the FIFA Under-20 World Cup qualifiers.
3 years of no soccer for me is not allowing me to do what I love to do, and that's football. It feels like I've been sentenced to jail for 3 years. This will be the lowest moment of my life. Fiji FA did not consider any of the sacrifice I've done while for the national duties.
The Fiji Football Association says the penalties given to Verovo and 4 others were not biased.
Fiji FA wasn't biased in the decision. The board made a decision based on this has to stop somewhere. And finally, under this board, this offence has happened and we have taken the action. And if anything, river football has to understand.
Meanwhile, the Reo Football Association has said it will take the matter forward for arbitration. That was your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now for business.
A stable government is needed after the elections in order for the Fijian economy to grow positively. Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of Fiji, Arif Ali, said in the past 5 months the economy has performed really well.
I think the more important issue is not having elections, but having a stable government after elections. And I think more important is not only stable government after elections, but making sure that there is no immediate reversal or withdrawal of government policies and incentives, because that will really tick off a lot of businesses and that will really harm the economy.
Ali was speaking at the recent Fiji-New Zealand Business Council annual meeting held in Suva. The RBF has forecast that the economy will grow by 3.8% this year. Now it's weather time with Trish.
Thanks, Jackie. Looking at today's conditions, Suva, Savu, and Lambasa all had cloudy skies in the morning, turning to a sunny afternoon as the day proceeded. The other major centers, Nadi, Lautoka, and Amba, all have fine weather throughout the day. Today's temperatures, well, Suva is on 27, Nadi on 28, Lautoka and Ba on 29, Savu on 26, and Lambasa hit 32. Lambasa, Lautoka, Nani, Raki, Singatoka, and Tavua will be cool tonight, down around 17. Now looking to the weekend, we've been waiting for Saturday's forecast. Good news for all. Suva, Nandi, Lautoka, Lambasa, and Savu can expect fine weather all day. For mariners, watch out for heavy southwesterly swells over southern Lao waters, Kandavu Passage, and southern Koro Sea. Winds will be southerly at 15 to 20 knots. This evening we have another beautiful photo. This one looks to me like a melting sunset. It's of the beautiful northern island of Nangele Levu, courtesy of Mikalonga.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. Highlighting our main stories tonight, Prime Minister and Attorney General reveals salaries as Fiji First Party makes declarations. Fiji and New Zealand to talk on seasonal workers scheme next week, and Namaka market vendors call for drop in store fees. Now on to the poll question we're asking. Should there be more policing of nightclubs? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's FBC News for tonight. Join Amrita Priyadashni from tomorrow with the weekend news. The team and I will be back again on Monday. Till then, you have yourselves a safe and enjoyable weekend. Nisa Modamanda.
Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva. Hear about bottled cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.